My parents said, "You're the most trashy daughter we have." The words fell like silverware in a quiet room. Birthday candles burned low. Music pretended nothing was wrong. I stood, my chair scraping a clean note across tile. "Then stop calling me when you need money," I said. Faces stiffened. I kept steady. "Hi, I'm Maya, the daughter who stayed late to wash dishes, sent rent when the shop was slow, who was told to stand straighter, talk softer, and never remind anyone what I paid for." Mom's mouth made an O. Dad smoothed his napkin like it could iron out what I'd said. My sister Nina stroked a ribbon on the gift table as if my life were decor. I laid my palm on my phone. The banking app blinked open. My thumb hovered over 2 words: pause transfers. Years of emergencies sat behind that button. I pressed it. Air shifted, glasses stilled. No one defended me. "Maya," Dad warned, calm as a leash. "You're overreacting." "No, I'm done reacting." The chandelier scattered light over silverware and wilted roses. Nobody moved. Nobody apologized. Mom found her voice. "You wouldn't let your family suffer." "You already chose not to be mine," I answered. Silence tilted the room. I slid my chair back, taller than fear. "Trash doesn't fund you," I said. "Trash walks out." I turned toward the door. The hallway felt colder, marble a metronome under my heels. Nina called, "Wait!" I looked back. Our parents stayed statues. "Not this time," I said, opening the door to distance I could finally breathe. I didn't cry in the cab. I stared at the lights shivering on the river and pictured my thumb sealing a vault. When the driver asked if I'd had a good night, I said, "A necessary one." My studio smelled like orange peels and dust. I clicked on the lamp, opened the window, and emptied my purse of receipts that proved how often I'd rescued people who called me reckless. I laid a notebook flat and wrote a list titled, "Boundaries I Can Live With." 1. I will not apologize for earning or for keeping it. 2. I will not answer calls that arrive only with invoices. 3. I will not mend insults with transfers. I tore the family group chat from my home screen and archived it with the same tenderness you give to a dangerous heirloom. Then I made tea and let the kettle sing too long, just because no one could shush me. At midnight, Nina texted from an unknown number. "I'm sorry, they're stubborn. Please don't disappear." I stared at her words until they blurred. I typed back, "I won't vanish. I just won't fund their version of me." She replied with a single heart, the shy kind you send when you're borrowing courage. Sleep came late. In the morning, I biked to the community center and signed up for a financial literacy workshop I'd never let myself admit I needed. The instructor, a woman with smile lines, showed us how to put our values in a budget. Mine looked like rent, books, bus fare, and a savings account named Exit Velocity. On the way out, I pasted a little flyer for my weekend DJ gigs on the corkboard. New bookings mean new music, I thought. New music means new rituals. Weeks passed without a single late-night guilt call. My phone was quieter, my heartbeat steadier. One evening after a set at a rooftop bar, I saw Nina waiting by the entrance. She looked smaller without the family's noise behind her. "I told them I'm moving out," she said, hugging herself. "They said you corrupted me." I laughed softly. If independence is contagious, good. She followed me home, carrying only a backpack and a framed photo of us as kids. Over noodles at my kitchen table, she whispered, "I want to learn to stand like you did that night." "You already are," I said. "This time, we build on our own terms." We spent the next mornings hunting for a shared apartment, comparing neighborhoods and daydreaming about furniture that didn't carry history. Every step away from that old house felt like peeling off wallpaper that had never matched us. On move-in day, Dad showed up in the lobby. He didn't bring flowers, just questions. "Are you really cutting us off?" I met his eyes. "No, I'm cutting off the version where I'm disposable." He opened his mouth, then closed it, like someone tasting a language they'd never learned. Nina squeezed my hand. We walked upstairs without looking back. That night, boxes stacked around us. I plugged in my speakers and played music loud enough to make the walls pulse. For the first time, the echo belonged to us. I stood on the balcony, city wind against my face, and thought of the word trash, how it had once burned, and now it was just paper ashes in the wind. I didn't need their applause. I had my own beginning.